In her spare time, she is CEO of Squishy Robotics, which develops rapidly deployable mobile sensing robots for disaster rescue, space exploration, and remote monitoring. Beyond all of these technical accomplishments, she has worked tirelessly to structure active programs to reduce barriers for women in science and engineering. In 2012, she received the American Association for Advancement of Science Mentorship Award because of her increasing the number of women in mechanical engineering. She also, in 2006, received the UC Berkeley Chancellor's Award for advancing institutional excellence and building an equitable and diverse learning environment. She co-authored the National Academy's study on addressing sexual harassment in science, engineering, and medical workplaces in 2018, and has won other numerous teaching, research, outreach, and mentoring awards. Most recently, in 2018, the Presidential Award for Excellence in Science, Mathematics, and Engineering. So as I mentioned, I am greatly honored to be presenting this to a role model and a mentor that I have had the good fortune of experiencing, and not only in the lab that she works here at UC Berkeley, creating this sense of belonging and helping other graduate students find their voice and their path in science and engineering, but then also the inclusivity in classrooms and mentoring of younger students as well. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Alice Agogino up too.
You said it all. I don't know what. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm really honored to receive this award, particularly in 2020, and let me tell you why. But I'm also humbled to be in the same category as past awardees. There have been some amazing awardees, and the other ones that are being awarded today. I do want to thank my family, my friends, and my colleagues and mentors and mentees that are in this room. I'd like to point out my daughter, Ariane Agogino Geringer, there in the white shirt. She recently received her master's degree in computer science at Mills College. But I'd like to talk about my mentors and mentees. I believe that mentoring is an organic, two-way relationship that benefits both partners. It's a developmental relationship in which both greatly benefit. There are many mentors and mentees I've had in the past, but I can't talk about them all because I only have a few minutes. So I'd like to highlight just a couple of examples. One was a student at UC Berkeley who didn't fit the model of a typical engineer, and she didn't fit what her career path really wasn't going in the direction that she wanted to go of a typical engineer. And she decided that she would transform what engineering could be like for her. And she called it making engineering your own, owning up to engineering. And she created a brand new field that combines theater and dance and engineering. And she called it embodied learning and embodied science and engineering. She created this new pathway and defining engineering on your own terms. And that's something that transformed me. I learned so much from her finding her way and realizing that engineering can be what we all want it to be, that I, in fact, got inspired with colleagues of mine at UC Berkeley to start a brand new program at UC Berkeley called Development Engineering that's interdisciplinary, that combines the social sciences and the engineering science and physical sciences and engineering together to get rid of poverty and improve development across the world. And so that transformed me. We found the new group. We now have a PhD minor in development engineering, and we also are starting a new master's program in the area. But today I'd like to also single out, and this is why 2020 is so important to me, a friend, a mentor, and a colleague who should have won the Athena Award, but she died young. Her name is Anita Borg. She's what the Anita Borg Institute is named after. How many of you have gone to the Grace Hopper celebration of women in computing? She was the inspiration behind that. She knew the roadblocks that could prevent girls and women, over 50% of the population, from achieving their potential. But she also knew the world desperately needed what that 50% could provide, and she knew that she had to do something about that. And this is why 2020 is so relevant. Does anybody know what her cry was? At every meeting, 50-50 by 2020. Now, you might be thinking we haven't achieved this goal, but remember how far we've come, and let's celebrate our successes. When I first started in engineering, in mechanical engineering, we were less than 0.1% women in engineering in most engineering fields. And now many fields we're over 50%. The biological sciences, professional schools, business, law, medical schools. Veterinarian medicine is 80% women, for example, right now. And development engineering is way over 50% women. And I had a first that happened to me today. I've had to run in and out because we're doing a search for a new faculty member in development engineering. And half of the candidates that we're interviewing are female. And that's the first time that's ever happened to me in engineering. So I really want to celebrate our successes. And another important thing about 2020, bioengineering is almost in parity, and environmental engineering is almost at parity as well. 2020 marks another milestone in women's history, and that's the 10th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. So let's remember that we have 9 more months to achieve our goals in 2020. We have a chance to finally pass the Equal Rights Amendment. So don't give up, get to it, and 50-50 in 2020. Wait a minute, demonstrate this for me.
I know, isn't that beautiful? That's what it turns around.
Oh, cool. So laser cutter, huh? And 3D printing. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice, for that wonderful speech and remarks and rallying cry. So that was really terrific.